Okay. So I'm getting everything set up, but I think I'm almost ready. Yeah. Okay, cool. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, I think that's officially everything. Fingers crossed. Dun, 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 ba-da-ba-da-bum-bum-bum. Okay. And then we're going to try to see if things can function. Because I think so far so good. I think I'm fine. So I'm going to be working on page 30 today. Hopefully not spoil too much. It's been a relatively slow day, but I just need to get something done, and so I thought I might as well stream it. And I got a bit done. Like, there's still stuff that needs to be, you know, polished a little bit, but so far so good. Sweet. That might work a little bit better. Okay, cool. Oh, okay. So caustics are the bane of my existence in these shots. That and the light that I have to produce from like this little section here. Let me grab that real quick. This bit has to be all like nice and lit up, which is going to be a little tricky, but we'll figure it out. Okay, so a couple things I gotta do. I gotta add the multiply layer for shading on things like the shelving and a bit of the floor, anywhere underneath, like the desk, in order to make it look a little more realistic. I have to make sure that I've got some sort of gradient going on. Let's see. I fixed Butch's cheekbones, which is helpful. Ooh. Where to start? That's the real question. Well, let's just start somewhere. I think I'm gonna start with... maybe just caustics on the bottom side of the pool. That might be nice. Because I think I already got... Oh, no, I didn't. Aha! That's where to start. Background here. Yep, there we go. Okay. This will be a little nice. I'm still not entirely convinced that that's the original color that I used. But I digress. Here's the other page. I don't know, I just feel like it's a little lighter than last time, unfortunately. Yeah, whatever. It's fine. Get some line art coloring going. Thank you. The hands are difficult unto themselves, so that's a high compliment. There's little bits and bobs that I still have to like properly color in because I missed them. And I'm sorry if I'm not as talkative today. I'm focused on trying to get this done, but also trying to be did I color that the wrong thing? But also trying to be collected in my thoughts, I guess. No, that's the right one. Okay, cool. Whatever. Also, it's stressing me out because I'm seeing like on my Cintiq versus my like monitor for like color grading, and it's just sitting there and I look over and it's like bright neon red and I'm like, oh no, I hope it's not actually that color. Like, I know this Cintiq is supposed to be like better suited for colors, more accurate, but if that's what everyone's seeing on their screens, then I don't know, that might be a little aggressive as far as colors go. I think I got all of him to be the proper color. I also don't want to accidentally lose my pen because every once in a while I'll like put it down and then I look for it and I'm like, crap, where'd it go? Cool. Okay, so he's done. I can go down a panel. Do it one again. Once again. So I follow Marvel on Instagram, and I've just been bombarded with all sorts of trailers that are coming out. And part of me is like, I really want to know. And the other half of me is like, but I don't really want it spoiled for myself. Because I already tend to guess like endings of films. And if I have a whole trailer, like I've pretty much got the entire ending. So like it's really hard for me to try to sit and enjoy a movie when I'm like, oh yeah, I've already seen the trailer, I already figured out what's gonna happen. I'm that annoying person you have to sit next to in the theater who like constantly sits there and just goes, yeah, I know exactly, called it 100%. I know who I am, it's okay, I understand. But like their Wakanda Forever commercials have been coming out. And Namor is now in it, and I'm just super stoked because I want to see what they do with his character. And yeah, so fingers crossed it's good because with the commercial so far, I'm intrigued. I just haven't kept up with too many of them. Like I watched the one with No Woman No Cry in the background. Super good. the beats, especially on that one, was A-tier editing on their part. Alrighty, tank is officially done for that panel. That's fun. For those of you who have heard my spiel of my comic intensively, you guys will recognize this scene, but no one else will unless I pop up the, My brain wants to say verbiage, that's not it. The speech bubbles. That's the word. The verbiage. Nice. Yeah, so a lot of you guys won't recognize it unless, unless I put up speech bubbles. I did outline him in red. Okay, that's fair. I think technically I just stole Tank's color. Okay. Butch at his prime, everyone. Still to this day, I don't know what to do with this man. He's one of those characters that you draw and you really intensely love just because of how awful they are, but then you sit there and you're like, well, I don't like him as a person, really. So then you're just in constant turmoil with yourself. I think I need some spooky movie recommendations. Just for like Halloween time rolling around. My friend and I are gonna go watch Coraline. But we don't know what else beyond that we should watch. Because last year we watched like, or not last year, but a couple years ago we watched like Beetlejuice, and we watched Corpse Bride. There we go. That's the name. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so tired today. Beetlejuice and Corpse Bride, and a couple other Tim Burton films that I can't remember right now. This year we're trying to do like Nightmare Before Christmas and Coraline. And I swear there was one other, but I can't remember for the life of me. So that's unfortunately where it's gonna sit for now. But those films are the ones we're currently shooting for. We're hoping to watch some spooky ones just in case. No. This is his fur neck. This is not a boa. This is his neck. He doesn't have a boa until ever, I think. He has like a cloak, but it doesn't have like, yeah, he's just a fancy boy. Yeah, no, this is just neck fluff, cuz he's a tarantula, and moths have this too. Tarantulas don't tend to, but he's special that way. He's just a very fluffy fancy bean. I have to find in my which sketchbook I have his redesign in, because I did his redesign a while ago and I just can't find his sheet for what I did. And unfortunately, I drew him pretty much in his redesign style in like the first coming back page. But I didn't have a lot to go off of, and so it slowly is starting to just fade out and go back to the original, and I don't want it to do that. So I'm trying to find that sketchbook desperately, and I can't. And so for now, we've just got this bean. So fingers crossed I can find it soon. He's supposed to look more gorilla-ish than before. I can't find... There was some artist that I based his redesigned body type off of, because I was like, oh, they're really good at drawing that. And I didn't save it anywhere, and it's making me sad, because I really, really, really thought that I was just gonna have a good time redesigning him. And it would be better than what I've done in the past. But unfortunately... This is why we save our references, kids. Because sometimes they just disappear. So I went to New York recently and I took a bunch of photos, and later I'm going to draw all these sweet little beans in their natural habitat, so to speak. And I'm gonna do some like fun shots of them, just walking down the street, or you know, going to the Fifth Ave or stuff like that. Because while I was there, I took a bunch of photos, so then, you know, copyright-wise, I could use them for my own stuff. And I got really excited. This angle, the back shot of Tank, he does I like how I draw crests when they're at this angle. I like the fact that it's like a little ducktail. They make me very happy. And it's like one of the cutest, like, little angles that I get to turn him at. It's super cute. Makes me super duper happy. And I just want it to be very, I don't know. Not dimensionally sound, but kind of like it's more tangible, almost, when his head is shaped that way. I don't know how to explain it. My brain is not functioning, but it's a cute angle for sure. I like it. It makes me happy. I'm hoping that I can get all these pieces to kind of fit together a little nicer. Let's see, is that? Let's go in one. Boop. And then that one. That's a little better. That's a little nicer. I'm hoping I can have this done by tonight, because I unfortunately have other projects that I need to get to that have a much more strict deadline than this one. But oh geez. But until this one's off my plate, I can't really do anything. Just because it makes me anxious when I've got the comic page still sitting on my list of to-do. And I want to be on time this year. Like, that's kind of my goal, is go one whole year without messing up and having to take a break for hiatus. Which might be hard because I may or may not get I may not start my job back up. May or may not start my job back up this upcoming year. So we'll see how that actually plays out. But with a once a month upload schedule, it's been pretty easy. It's not easy, but like it's been pretty it's been able to be more consistent, I should say. Because so far so good. But we'll see. If it keeps up, then good. If it doesn't, then bummer. But I'm trying to be pretty consistent. Just because it's like it's a once a month comic, it should not be that difficult to keep up. I mean, I'm doing everything, obviously. So like it takes more time to get stuff done. Like I'm basically just a one-man band who's playing their hardest. But if I can get everything to be kind of settled, then fingers crossed it'll work out nice for me later. I'm trying to be super consistent so then I can have more people see it, because that's really helpful. And I'm trying to be more consistent with streams because first off, I want to get to know you guys a little better, and second off, I want to be able to sorry, I found his suspenders. I forgot to label these, by the way. You can tell if it's a good page versus a bad page by how well I labeled all of mine. Just all of my layers, just because sometimes I do and sometimes I don't, and the days that I don't, I deeply regret. Just because I have those moments where I'm like, oh crap, is this the suspenders? And then I click on it and it's so not. And I'm like, well, never mind, try again. But yeah, so there's a couple pieces around that are working out, and then a couple pieces that are more on the side of just kind of breathing. I don't know if that made sense, but it works. But yeah, goal of the week is to get this off my page. And then I can finally take a breather. Hopefully. I mean, I have to do something within 2 weeks. That's going to be really rough. As far as like time crunch schedule. But it'll be good for the most part. What have you guys been up to, by the way? Because like I always like hearing from you guys more than I like hearing myself talk. Because it's really hard to talk a lot just because I get really nervous and I'm like, I don't really know if they want to hear from me, but it's okay. Why are you laughing at me? What's going on? What message? What did you do? I want to know what your message said now, because, like, what the heck? That's so silly. Huh. Let's try this real quick. I don't know. That's so weird. Nice. Halloween events and birthdays are fun. Theater productions are a ton of fun. It's always nice when you've got like a bit of a relaxation day. Just something you can take in and breathe with. Ooh, old theater buddies. Fun. Fun. Oh gosh, I found his suspenders. There they are. And then find them again. Don't accidentally... Yep, nailed it. Ah! Technically that should have just a little... strip of black there. That works. Nice. Nailed it. Okay. And technically that's the proper side. Good, good, good. Okay. Okay, panel 5 is done for line arting those two. Or coloring the line art, I guess. This one's gonna be fun because they're just little dots. That's the wrong layer that I wanted to do. Nailed it. I am just nailing it today. I don't know if you guys can see it really well, but I'm very, very proud of that rug pattern, actually. It makes me very, very happy. Oh, I feel like I need like a warm apple cider. Something to kind of just balance out a little bit. Thank you. Carpet took me a bit, but it's very nice. Always wassail. Always wassail. That's like my favorite part of the holidays, is being able to smell that. Super duper yummy. Tank done? Let's see. Let's grab that one. I like this shot a lot, actually. And it may not be for the reasons you guys think immediately, but I really like it because it's kind of, it mimics these two. Like, Tank doesn't have a lot of red on him. So he's more of a neutral force in this. And then Butch has a lot more red on him. Which is alluding to later of what's gonna happen. So, very excited. Very excited about these. These shots are pretty fun. Give me a second. I'm at, whoops. Accidentally smacked my microphone, apparently. No, I'm gonna put my feet up so I don't have them so scrunched. Oh, that's much nicer. Oh, that's very nice. That's very nice. Okay, cool. So for most of you guys who don't know, I sit with my legs cross-legged most of the time. And recently I've just had major knee problems. So I'm starting to try to straighten out my legs when I sit. Whether or not that's working is a different topic. And I don't know why, but my brain is like, it has Mrs. Snips and Snooty on repeat currently in my brain, just their theme song. And I can't for the life of me figure out why. Like, I haven't watched it recently. It's like a really old little VHS thing from forever ago. But like, my brain for some reason is like gung-ho on it. Yeah. Yep, that one. Yep, that. Yep, that. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, that old VHS show. Yep. That show was like 90% of my childhood right there. She was precious. She was absolutely precious. Like, I remember watching that and thinking to myself, I wish that I had a teacher just like her. Because it was super sweet. Like, it was just a really wholesome show. I don't know if you can find it anymore. That's my problem. I think it's disappeared for the times. I wonder if I can snag this. Do that potentially. That worked. Yeah, okay. That's chill. That nailed it. Ooh, old Sesame Street VHSs. Those are good too. Those are way good. For some reason I remember the exercise ones the most, actually. Oh yeah, also, fun fact, that's the room's coloration without all of the shading on top. A nice vibrant red. The nice thing about it, though, is when everything's all said and done, and I'll shade it out, which blends in really nice, but he also sticks out, which is kind of the whole point of the room. Room is supposed to be set in blue in order to kind of complement his feather and most of the red on him. So also, I love how I said I'm gonna straighten out my legs in about 30 minutes, or not even 30 minutes, like 5 minutes in, my legs are already started to be tucked back up. So I need to untuck my legs again. I'm trying to remember what I was doing. It's this, right? Yep. 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 Found it. That is accurate. My room also gets really freaking toasty whenever I have my computer on. Because it's a computer, obviously. So it gives off heat. Bubble song. From Barney? I don't remember a bubble song. Yeah, free heater. I mean, you know. Always keeps me really, really toasty, so. My only problem is that I run hot, so like technically my best temperature is cold. It's really freaking hot down here. It's just heckin' toasty. Oh my gosh, you're right. That is the song. I can't for the life of me remember my tune, the tune for it, but I can see it vividly in my head. The bubble song from Barney is absolutely, yeah. That's a visceral like image in my head. No lyrics, no sound, just image. That's all I've got. That's so weird. Huh. That's so strange. The magic of visuals, I guess. That's so incredibly strange. Like my brain is trying to latch onto something and it just can't. Like it can see it, it can't hear it. It can't visualize anything past what it has. That's so weird. Also, it's not a good sign when you take a look at a hand that you've drawn and you go, what direction is that facing? That's never a good sign. You might have to do some more work on it if you ever have that initial reaction. I feel like the subcategory for this stream might just be nostalgia. Like my brain is just now functioning only on nostalgia. I might actually get this done sooner than later, which is very surprising. Guys, I just realized something sad. I never started my timer. Oh no. That's gonna be a problem. That's okay, I'm about an hour in. Whoopsies. Bummer. I sat there and I stared at it and I went, my timer says timer still, which means it's not going, right? And I leaned over and it's not. It's not going. Oh. Well. Bummer. My bad. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but Butch has lost all of his rings and or jacket and or everything in the shot. Just because it's a lot to draw. But also I am trying to make it seem like time is passing. Just a little bit like time in the day. Because Butch tends to Give me a sec, guys. I just got food delivered to my room. Heck yeah. So we have chili and rice tonight, which is super nice. Looking good so far. But I think I'm gonna get done sooner than later on this, which might be nice. Like I'll probably have Tank and Butch done by, I don't know, maybe an hour. Like probably shading and all, I'd assume. Oh no. That's gonna bug me. I need to fix that. Here we go. Also, I've been reviewing some Spider-Man comics recently. Like, just rereading them. And so far, absolutely phenomenal. Like, I don't know what it is about Peter Parker, but he seems very, very, very relatable in most everything he's written in. Like, there's some, not discrepancies. Some outliers, I guess. That like technically you sit there and you're like, that's not right, but yeah. But he's just constantly, he's like, between him and Logan, Wolverine, they're like Marvel's two biggest, I don't know, like emotional punching bags, I guess. Like, when it's between those two, it's just very, I don't know. It's not necessarily emotionally heavy. I'm trying to think of the word. Like, whenever those two are on screen, it's very apparent just how run down they are. And their personality differences are very apparent as well. Like you can feel that Peter is really run down without him whining about it all the time. Like he takes a beating and he comes back and it's still rough, but he's, you know, learned from it. And he's grown as a person. And then there's Logan, who's just very very what's the word? Weathered. Wow, my brain is shutting down today, guys. I'm so sorry. He's very he's got a very battered personality, basically. Like you can see that from the years he's been worn down emotionally. And it's really interesting to see the dynamic between those two, because technically they've got similar like amounts of difficulty on each side. And Marvel treats them as very different characters, which is something that I absolutely love. So that's a ton of fun. Whoops. Don't do that. That's a bad one. Whoops. My bad. There we go. Fixed it. It's okay, guys. Don't panic. Oh, that's my bad. Always red lines. That's just how my brain functions, is red. Which is funny, because that's actually the color I can see the least. Supposedly, according to my eye doctor. I don't know how much I believe that considering that I feel like I can see a ton of shades of red, but maybe you guys can see more, and you guys are like, you're kind of colorblind on red. And then, in that case, I'd probably believe you. Also, if you guys will pardon me, every once in a while I might just take a bite of my food just so I can keep going. I'll try to chew away from the mic so then you guys don't have to hear it. Also, did anyone else see the, come si dice? The, allora. Oh, Werewolf by Night. Because that one was way good. Super clever, really well done. I liked the characters. I liked the old nostalgic feel. Kind of like the tip of the hat to all the horror tropes. I thought it was clever. It was very good. I do appreciate that one. I think that one was probably top of my list for like kind of horror film-esque things, because I don't really enjoy horror films all that much. I have a really hard time with horror films because either they're really, really cheesy or my heart explodes out of my chest because I am very much just a small-hearted child. Yeah, the plot's a little predictable, but it was, you know, it's cheesy and it's nice and it's good. It's not terribly cheesy. Like, that one's really well done as far as like amount of cheese that they wanted to give. But it was great. Good string bean. Yeah. Okay, I get it. I'm ittle bittle. It's okay. I blame it mostly on my adrenaline problem. Like, not being able to handle much adrenaline. My body just can't do it. It literally feels like my heart's going to burst out of my chest every time that happens, so. I've come to accept it. It's okay. Because, like, I watched my first thriller horror film the other day. I don't know if it's my first, but it's the first one I can remember. Without, like, prompting from someone, you know? But I watched, I think it's called Run. Something like that. It's about this mom and her daughter. Super sketchy. Really well done. But the whole time I was watching that, my poor heart was just going a million miles an hour. And I felt really bad. Because I was like, I really want to watch this, but, like, it's really painful too. And so, by the end of it, I worked it out, and I finished the rest of the film. But it was definitely one of those things where I was like, this is a little harsh. Like, definitely need some time to breathe after this one. Because, like, the whole point of that one is they're supposed to keep you on the edge of your seat the entire freaking time. So then you can not really tell, like, what's going on and who's doing what, and, you know, trying to keep you on your toes, right? And they do a really good job at it, but it makes my poor heart panic. So I need more mild horror films without being actual horror films, if that makes any sense. Probably does not, but it's okay. That's kind of where I'm at, unfortunately. Is just need softer horror films, if that makes sense. I don't think it does, but it's okay. But I need softer horror films as far as like if I'm supposed to be watching something, I need them softer but not as cheesy as like some older horror films are, because that would be very helpful. Yeah, there's some films that I bet I've watched before that are probably horror films, but I just never known. I wish, but I have no idea. Like I said, without prompting, I don't think there's any that I can remember ever really watching. I had a couple where it's like a more oh my gosh, unconventional. Like it's one that's like not considered horror really, but some people do consider it to be a horror film. I think I've seen a couple of those. I can't remember any titles off the top of my head, but getting into spooky season, I kind of want to watch just like a horror film or two more. Maybe not that far. Like Coraline might be as far as I can go. I don't believe that one. I don't believe Labyrinth is considered a horror film. That's There's no way. There's no way in Hades that that's a thing. That's not even that scary. It's just weird. Ugh. Ugh. No Hocus Pocus for me. I know people are really into it, but I am not that type of person, unfortunately. As far as I'll go is animatics for like the song, the like when they change the boy into the cat. That's about as far as I'll go, because I've found some really good artists who do really well on that, and it's done phenomenally, and therefore I'll watch it. But anything past that, I'm just... Yeah, I was gonna say, you can't call me out. You can't call me out. You don't even like it. How dare you? But yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, this makes sense, actually. Halloween Town. Okay, I've heard mixed reviews on that one. I think it was Are You My Mummy? Or Mummy Daddy, or whatever it was called forever ago. I watched that one. That one was funny. Just because it's not really a horror film. Like, you're just sitting there laughing the whole time because it's like not really the proper genre. Like, it's not labeled as it, because it's like this actor who's trying to do some sort of horror film. I think it's a very meta film, but it's basically this actor who's trying to do like a horror film shoot, and then he's inadvertently stuck in his costume or falls into something, or something happens, and everyone thinks he's an actual live mummy and just starts running away from him. And like, I think it's been a couple years, but I think if I remember correctly, like the military is called and they come in and they like try to get rid of him. Very sassy. Ruby Gloom. Yeah, okay. Growing Up Creepy and Beetlejuice Show after all three. Okay. Good goth kid vibes. Yeah, that's fair. Love the old cartoon stuff that has goth kid vibes. That's my jam. Because I remember I went back on YouTube the other day and I rewatched like the funniest moments of the Beetlejuice Show, like the old animated one. It was pretty solid. It was actually pretty solid. Like to this day, I still laughed at quite a bit of it. is pretty good. The only thing that I think was different was like some something or other. It's like not a relationship or something. It was something that I was like, oh, I never noticed that before. But it's one of those things where you're like, oh, got you. I get a lot more of Beetlejuice's jokes nowadays. Like my brain will catch them and be like, oh, that's funny, haha. Versus like, oh, that's inappropriate and really should not be in a kid show. Always sneaking stuff past the censors, I guess. I guess that's every show's main goal, I suppose. Seems like it's the most certifiable reason they do that. Oh yeah, there was a ton snuck past the censors back then. That was kind of their thing. That was their claim to fame. Oh, do I really want to color him? Is it really that important? I say to myself. Wondering. Ugh. Ugh. I feel like I would just... Woof. I feel like I need an assistant for my comic, but I'm also in the boat of like, how can I tell if it's gonna be done right? Which is so hard. Because unfortunately I'm a perfectionist and I don't want to push anyone else to be a perfectionist. So I just haven't hired anyone to do it with me. But it's definitely one of those things where I'm like, I really need help. I'm also debating with some of my viewers. There's a couple that are actually Italian, and I really freaking appreciate that because it's really sweet to read these Italian comments. And I practice my Italian really, really hard, but I don't get anywhere. I'm just not good at learning languages. Is really difficult for me, and I don't know why. I'm wondering if it's because it's not as visual as I'd like it to be, or if, you know, maybe my brain just doesn't function in that way. But they're super sweet, and I've debated on asking them a couple times to be like, hey, if you guys want to see the pages early, would you guys mind checking my Italian grammar? Just to make sure that I'm doing it right, because that's the thing I get really nervous about, is whether or not I'm like doing everything grammatically correct in Italian. Because like I could do basics, right? Like that's easy. But like Tank and eventually you guys will meet Skinner, are both very well versed in Italian. Like they're very gosh, my brain is not functioning, but the word for it's not sophisticated. And it's not regal, but regal's as close as I'll get. So they're very regal in their own language, you know, like in their native tongue. They're very, very good at what they do. And it makes me very, very happy because they're just precious little beans. And it's always hard because, you know, in the comic, Skinner is very fluent in both. Well, he's fluent in quite a few languages. He's mostly their translator slash lawyer. And so he's very well versed in not only like languages but legal jargon as well. He's very well-rounded in that sense. Freaking love him. But Tank is one of those characters who has a slightly harder time trying to remember sentences in English. Like he never really paid attention in high school because he thought he was going back to Italy. And then later he figured out that he was going to need all of that for later. And then he's like, oops, my bad. So like it gets to a point where he sits there and he's like, well, it's kind of important. Like this, I really do need this for, you know, business dealings and just general life in general. And so he starts to like get in. He's just a very stubborn character. Is basically his whole thing. But it's sad writing him because he's one of those characters where he has a hard time communicating what he actually means. And Lucy is on the opposite spectrum of him, you know. She is not able to speak Italian. She only speaks English. And so for her, it's hard to understand that her uncle is way, way, way smart. Like he's off the charts kind of smart. But she can't understand it because she doesn't speak the same language as him. So like he can be really, really, really smart in Italian, and he can be really eloquent. But the problem is Lucy won't understand it, so she won't know. Skinner will know, but Lucy won't. And then vice versa. Like, you know, Lucy's really intelligent in English, very eloquent and well put together. But Tank has a really hard time, like he understands that she sounds really smart, but he's also in the boat of like, how do I express to her that I'm also just as smart, you know? Because there's that language barrier. And it's something that I wanted to explore a little bit. Because for me, that's always been a really sad topic, is people getting misunderstood just because they have an accent that's really thick, or that, you know, they've got what's a good example? Like they're in a place that doesn't have their mother language, and instead it's forced to be a certain language, and therefore it sounds like they're complete idiots when they speak to like the average Joe. But in reality, it's like, no, language is really hard to learn. Like, if anyone can be bilingual, like they're automatically intelligent in my book. Like it's so hard to try to learn a new language. And it's, you know, people don't give people enough slack, you know, like it's really unfortunate. Like it's really sad. So I wanted to make sure that like I tried to handle it in the comic in a very like gentle manner. Just cuz like it's a harsh topic for some people, and for others it's like, you know, it's not a big deal. But yeah. But I want to make sure that my grammar's correct, so I'm like properly portraying what I need to in order for these characters to be more realistic and gentle. And I'm trying to put a little bit of my own personal knowledge of how I've been learning languages, like the difficulty it is for me. I've been trying to put some of that in, because some of the characters picked it up right away and others are just like completely lost on the language, and that's just how humans are in general. Like, we pick stuff up or we don't, and it really just depends on the person. So thank you. I appreciate that I outlined the close in red as well. I used to outline outline them in gray. Or that actually that was the original plan, was to outline them in gray. But the problem is, when I did that, it didn't have the same vibe to them, you know? Like, it was very... It wasn't the same type of ideal that I'd like for it, you know? Like, if I have it... if I have it in red, it feels more aggressive. And so I do most of their suits in red. But if it's like a less aggressive character, like I know Skinner's suits are outlined in gray. His are outlined in gray or blue most of the time. And then there's a couple other characters that have theirs outlined in blue or just like softer tones. And then there's a couple other people that I can't remember right now. I know Skinner, when he does his work, though, when he's in a Renault outfit, he does have outlined of red just so he looks more uniform with everyone, which is super cool. But it's definitely one of those things where you're like, oh, you know, like your brain automatically associates the color with the emotion that's trying to be portrayed, you know? Oh, I did watch Ghostbusters recently, though. That was interesting. A lot of old 80s humor. And then stuff that I wasn't expecting, actually. The thing that I actually remember the most from that is Nostalgia Critic. With his Zool comment. This is one of my favorites. I'm hoping these panels will look menacing enough. Because I keep looking at them and I'm just sitting here and I'm shaking my head and I'm like, I don't think they will. They're just kind of mediocre. I don't know. I'm probably judging my work too harshly, but I feel like they're just a little... They're not quite what I had in mind, you know? And so my brain just wants to say that they're wrong. But they are not. So, I mean, technically they were doing fine. I've also been on a huge Hozier kick recently. Literally, it's such good music. But I have constantly just stuck in my head Jackie and Wilson. And then I also have From Eden stuck in my head. I don't know. I like a lot of his songs that are very the word's not borderline, but like very contrasting to what it's actually saying, you know? Like, I like his songs that are very the sound of the music sounds really kind of upbeat and sweet, and then you listen to the lyrics and you're like, whoa, okay, never mind. Okay, well, that's aggressive. This poor man. I mean, actually, never mind. I don't care. He's not nice, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, no, he's a little different. He's not quite on model in either one of these shots, unfortunately. Like, I like I said earlier, I can't find his come si dice, I can't find his character sheet. So he's a little off model right now. He's scary. Oh, good. Good. That's what I aim for. This man is meant to be that way. He's kind of our main antagonist, so that's kind of the point. Ugh. Hey, what are you doing? You're what? You're a tooth. Forgot to color you in. Heck. Give me that. Let's do this as well, because I do kind of want to give him teeth on both sides. You think you've seen him in a cop show before? I mean, maybe. I don't know. I didn't really base him off of anyone like in real life. Like, I kind of based some of his personality off of like rumors of Al Capone, you know, where it's like He used to be really sweet in front of the whole town, so they were on his side. But Butch kind of takes that and twists it where he's really nice in front of people, but it's because he's very deadly. And if you don't cooperate with him, then you're on the end of his list. Or you're on the top of his list, I guess. That's the saying. That's true. He kind of gives me, oh gosh. The villain from Atlantis. I'm blanking on his name. The military man. He's giving me those vibes. Like, just something about his face. Yeah, that stinking guy, yeah. Something about him. Something about him is giving me those vibes. Where you think you're supposed to trust him, and in reality, it's like, run away. Gosh, I have to look up his name. Hold on. I'm literally sitting here, just brain just grinding away, and I can't for the life of me remember his name. My brain keeps going Clayton, and I'm like, that's the dude from Tarzan. So I legitimately have to look him up now. Because I just have Audrey in my head, like, trying to say his name over and over again, and I can't think of it. Rourke. That's his name. It's Rourke. Lyle Tiberius Rourke. Commander Rourke. Nailed it. I remember why my brain's having such a hard time remembering now. Because it was a really weird name. It's one of those names where it's like, it's not like Thomas Branch, you know, where your brain's like, oh yeah, I remember that guy. You know, it's kind of one of those things where you're like, oh, that was a slightly out of place name. I only remember he's called Commander in most scenes. Also, I don't know if, like, anyone else noticed when they go through, like, that end scene when they all come back. But I like the fact that the professor is sitting there going through it with them again, of like, what happened? What do we say when people ask us what happened on that expedition, you know? And they're going through it because it's like, they're trying to get their stories straight, and I never noticed that before. Like I always thought it was just like a weird sequence when I was a kid. I was like, "Oh, they're back." And I don't know what they're talking about, but let's keep going. And then they literally like just kind of get their story straight as to why Rourke died. And you're like, "Wow, that's aggressive." Oh, I think I got all their coloring done on their line art. Yay! That means I can do lighting now. Oh, good. I'm double checking, guys. I'm double checking. I think I got all of the line art. Let me pull up panel 4 again. See if that'll... Boop. Thank you. Love you too. Bye. Have fun. Good luck on homework. Interesting, interesting. That's a new one. Didn't know that. Apparently Windows and Mac have two different setups for how you select. That's really interesting. Okay, I'm hoping to get just shading done tonight and then just go to bed. Because that might be nice. Like, that might be really, 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 really helpful. Okay, let's grab panel 2, shading. First off, grab my overlay. Here. Go there, put that on. And it is a 14%. So what I'm doing here actually is I am doing a minute trick that I figured out. Tons of people have recommended this, by the way, like as far as artists go. But I think I learned it from one of Marvel's books and or comic artists. But basically what they said to do is you're supposed to put a filter of a warmer color onto the character if it's a cold background or vice versa, in order to make them pop just a little bit better. So basically I'm putting Butch's color of red over him before I'm making stuff a little saucy. And then 39%. And then I assume that this is just my regular 21% multiply for shadows, like cell shading that I tend to do. Okay, cool. Hugs from Bath and Body. Love you. Oh gosh, I hope I haven't let that sit for too long. I was really focused for a second there. Thanks for tuning in. I'm so sorry. Thanks for thanks for watching me on hopefully on break, but I mean, you know, if you're watching me during work, I mean, that's fine. I just have like a bowl of chili and cornbread sitting next to me, and I keep taking little bites every now and then. And then and then there's just these awkward pauses in speech. Ooh, Christmas candles smell good though. Like if you had to pick a smell, that's not too bad. Like there's some people in this world that have to smell like, you know, garbage or like dishes, because that used to be my old job, was a dish pit in most restaurants. So I mean, you know, there's worse things. I would take smelling like a Christmas candle any day. Perfect amount. I think I need. Ooh, I don't know. This is a good question. I think I need this to be a little sassier. That maybe. Yeah, there we go. You right. Gosh, I'm hoping that the freaking shading on some of this is looking okay. Like I keep zooming back and I'm like, ooh, I don't know. Like I'm not entirely sure that this is exactly how that shading is supposed to go, but it's looking good so far, so I think it's fine. Also, the blue of the water is definitely making it feel like have heavy Atlantis vibes. So oh no, I remember what I forgot. I forgot his teeth. Glad I caught that. Mm-hmm. His widow Tiffy. One of these days I need to do a stream and just do all the X-Men Generation beans. Cause I feel like that'd be a ton of fun. Definitely thought about doing that tonight, and then I was like, well, I've got stuff to get done, so. Absolutely, absolutely. I just need more of the beans, that's all. They make me very happy. Also on this panel, I'm going to do a slight trick. I might do this for the rest of the panels depending on how good it looks, but I'm going to make the cell shading a little harsher. Let's put it at like 50 for starters, so I can still see what I'm doing. Yeah. Okay, that's fair. I think I just need more Zassy in my, like, general knowledge sphere anyway. Like, I just really like those two. "20-second delay." Nice. Never too much Zassy. They're just too precious. I mean, yeah, that could be very easily used against him. That could be very, very easily used. That's the hard part with relationships in that universe, I suppose. Gosh, now I just want to rewatch Wolverine and the X-Men. That TV show was really, really good. A little shaky in areas, obviously. Like their whole future to the past back yen kind of plot was a little shaky. But like as far as character studies of characters, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Mm. Dang it. Oh, rip. I forgot about that. There we go. Fixed it. The one thing I didn't fix, however, is that slate problem. How do I want to deal with that? Let's see, panel 3, background. Let's do this. Okay. I think I might just cut it here, just for the sake of taking a breather and eating dinner. Sorry, it's been a really quiet stream, guys. I did not have energy today to come up with topics to speak about if there weren't any. Yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. Really appreciate you guys being around. I'll probably stream again later, a different day. Maybe tomorrow, but I'm not sure. And then maybe I can do some fun stuff tomorrow, once I'm done with this. Fingers crossed, but we'll see. So I love you guys, and thanks for tuning in. Have a great day, or a good night, or anything you need. And I should see you guys later. I love you, bye!